Cool, man. So just want to welcome, Sam, be yourself to the channel. Just I want to just kind of talk about just how I was introduced to you. So I have a friend that's kind of been watching my interviews and kind of seeing what I've been doing, and she approached me like, "Hey, you should hit up this guy, Sam, be yourself." Like, I'm a huge fan. Like, I follow him. Like, I love like his Instagram. Like, I love his songs. Like, live, drink, sleep these songs he has. So I checked you
Mm.
out, man, and I basically was like, the first song I heard was like your first track off your, I think your first album, when you're playing like piano and you're like smacking your head and you're like going nuts. And I'm like, dude, this is like real right here. Like, it's so raw. So, I just like, I had to reach out and just kind of, do my research on you as best that I could, and, watch the show, the Rhythm and Flow show. So yeah, man, I just want to thank you for coming on with us on Universal Groove here.
Dude, I'm so happy to be here. That makes my heart super warm that, somebody reached out and was like, "Yo, you got to peep this kid." So, that's awesome, man. I really appreciate you for having me here, man.
Yeah, man. I really thank you for coming on. And one thing I seen on the videos that you put out is just really like the musicianship that you have. Like, it's just like really versatile. Like, you got the guitar going, you got the piano going, you got the bars going, you're doing your own production. I'm like, damn, this guy's doing videos, like he's doing it like all himself. So I really appreciate that in an artist. Can you talk to me a little bit about just kind of like, what it feels like to kind of do all that? I mean, is that like your, I don't know, what's like your motivation, I guess, like when you're coming up with a song? I guess we start there.
Yeah, I mean, it leaves a wide room open for me as far as like the creative process, right? Cuz I might just be noodling around on a guitar, and then that leads to a foundation riff for a beat, and then I come back with drums, or sometimes the beat is just handed to me from a producer. So, I mean, I think it's just allowed my creativity within hip hop to be much more extensive than like the average rapper, right? The average rapper gets a beat, raps to it, they pay the producer, someone mixes it and masters it, they put it out, cool, have a nice day. But like, I'm very hands on, play multiple instruments. It's a gift and a curse in a way too, because like doing everything on my own all the time creates a burden, right? So it's like, I would love to just pull up to a studio and have the engineer already there and have the producer there, and we brought in some crazy guitar player and we got this guy who can just tickle the fucking piano keys like crazy, and like I would love to have that, right? So hopefully that's the goal. I mean, but until then I got to do it all myself. So
Yeah, so yeah, that's what's interesting to me too. Like in hip hop, it's like a lot of the artists out there, they're usually like, downloading a beat on YouTube, flipping it into like,
right.
whatever DAW system, and then, busting out a rhyme. And it's cool, I guess, like you're gonna hear like a Drake song, or, a Mac Miller beat or something like that, and the guy's doing his own version of whatever he's doing. But I don't know. Like, I think there's a beauty of you kind of doing it yourself, and putting on your own instrumentation, because it's like from your heart, it's from your mind, it's from your soul.
Totally.
Um,
Totally.
Now the producer part, is it like, when do you stop, bro? Like, do you ever stop? I mean, is there a point like where you have to be like, man, I need to stop myself because I'm going too far? I'm like adding too many instruments or too many synths, or like,
Totally.
because I
Totally.
think that's the hard part, right? To stop yourself.
Totally. Yeah. No, I mean, sometimes simple is a lot better, like simple, like just the more simple it is, the much more it is. And I find myself doing that all the time, where I'm, oh, this part needs a saxophone and we need more synths here and we need this. And then I play it for someone and they're like, dude, there's so many things going on. Like, tone it down. So yeah, that happens all the time, man. As a producer and like always mixing and mastering my own shit. So I'm constantly listening to the same song that I just made over and over again. So by the time I'm done and I think it's perfect, I'm sick of it and I don't even want to put it out, right? So it's
Mhm.
like, yeah, it's a gift and a curse to to be able to do all these different aspects of it. But yeah, no, like you said, I mean, there's some times where I just have to like step away and just be like, accept this song. It's good how it is. Put it out. If it goes over people's heads, you'll drop another song in a month. Like, it is what it is.
Wow. Do you are you fearful at all, like to work with a producer and have like maybe a little bit less control, you know, and or maybe get some feedback that you don't really want? Do you have that fear at all?
No, I want that, bro. I want that. That's what molds artists. That's what makes artists better, man. Like you got to have that. So I've been me and my manager, we've been, in talks with different people, and we're trying to set up some dates and get to some different places and work with some people. But like, no, that's what I want ultimately, man. Cause like I've been sitting here through this entire year that we've been going through, right? It's been the
Mhm.
wildest year of anybody's life. And I've been doing nothing but just being by myself 99.9% of the time making music. Sure, I have some homies that'll come through, or I might go somewhere to a little studio here and there, but for the most part, bro, it's just me inside my own head at all times, right? So no, I want that. I want someone to, it doesn't even have to be a producer or an engineer. It could just be someone kicking it on the couch, rolling up a doobie and be like, "Yo, I think you should say it. I think you should say it like this." Like, that's cool, but like, why don't you say the bar like this? And then I go back, oh yeah, you're right, you're right. Boom. Like, it just, music is a collaborative process at all times. Even like, I get it, man. Like, especially in hip hop, it's the standard is to write your own bars at all time. And I'm not saying like I need someone to sit down and write songs and hooks and melodies, but like, no, I do want someone to be there to be like, yo, that's not it. Like, why don't you
Yeah.
rewrite that? Or, hey, I got this guy. He's really nice with it. He can help you kind of structure this. Like, yeah, man, I want that for sure.
Wow. And then do you have your own record label right now? Are you putting out
Yeah, well, no, yeah, we got our own little situation. I mean, as far as just, putting out our own stuff and getting it marketed correctly, that's a different story. We're still working on that, but no, as
Mm,
of right now, man, I'm still as a free agent as it comes. But yeah,
wow.
we're trying to work on some stuff. But
Any producers that you know of right now that just in your mind that you've kind of seen and maybe in your area or just out and about that you haven't like a few that you may have in mind that could really help you at this point?
yeah, I mean, yeah, totally, man. I mean, there's a kid here from Detroit. His name's Primo Beats. I feel like if we did a mixtape, I think it would shake the city up a lot. I mean, there's a lot of people. I have a buddy right across the Detroit River in Windsor, Canada. Canada's right next door to us. He's literally like a 15-minute drive from me. His name is Dat Son. He's super dope. Yeah, I mean, obviously you could name, all the crazy producers that are out there or whatever. But yeah, I just want to shout out Primo Beats, Dat Son, and I'm trying not to think. Nolan the Ninja as well as another kid from here
Mm,
in Detroit that's super dope. But yeah, man, I'm just super wide open to just making music with anybody at this point. I don't really care what your genre is, just to collaborate with other human beings and not, like, imagine if we could have this conversation face to face and I could come out
yeah.
to LA and we could kick it and you could show me around where you're from. Like, it's just that
Yeah.
that element of actually connecting with people, which makes music very special. But yeah, yeah, man, I'm excited to, hopefully things will start opening up a little bit here and there, and we'll start working.
Yeah, we're starting to open up. I know like the gyms have opened up and stuff. Restaurants have been somewhat open. Bars are, I think, are opening. And there's a few bars already open. They don't care. And then, but yeah, it's kind of wild in California. With Detroit, tell me about Detroit. Like I said, I don't think I've ever talked to anybody from Detroit. What's it like? What's the atmosphere like where you're at right now?
Um, I mean, it's pretty much locked down still, man. I mean, we got a hard nosed governor
Hmm.
that I personally support because she's putting, human lives over money and shit like that. And I get it. I know, I get it. Like, there's small businesses that are fucking hurting and things of that nature. But she's trying to baby step her way back instead of just being like, floodgates are open. So I mean, we recently just went back to like 50% capacity. She's very similar. You're in Cali, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, very similar to Gavin Newsom. I'm sure you've seen Gretchen Whitmer's name in the news. Her and Trump didn't get along and all that blah blah
Mhm.
blah. But she's been strict, and I think it was, in my personal opinion, I think it was the right move. But we just went back to like 50% capacity in bars and restaurants. So um, we're slowly getting back to normal. I mean, it's different here with these winter months. The
Move.
flu. flu runs rampant, man. It gets like negative but 15, 20 degrees here in the wintertime. So I think she was really just trying to get through the winter.
Yeah.
And as we get closer to these warmer months, we'll be back open. But I mean, it's Detroit at the end of the day, man. People are still out there turning up, having fun, doing what they got to do. Essential
Yeah.
workers still holding it down, whether that's grocery stores or what have you, man. We're still getting by.
Yeah. Yeah, and then we were talking about like you being a Lions fan, and then you guys just lost Stafford, right? That's pretty rough, and he's
Oh,
pretty much been the quarterback for your life, right? That guy.
I mean, he's been the quarterback of my life for sure. We've had many quarterbacks. We've had Dante Culpepper to you fucking name it. But
Oh man.
I mean, yeah. I mean, he was our guy. We drafted him number 1 overall, and I think he did a damn good job. And I think if he would have been drafted anywhere else, he would have been a top 3 quarterback in this league. And I think he's going to a team where he's going to be in a so what that would be NFC, right?
Yeah.
Rams,
Yeah.
yeah. So I think he's at least going to the NFC Championship with that team, that defense, his arm. I wouldn't be surprised if they fucking go all the way, man. I want him to get a ring so bad. Like he,
Yeah.
yeah, he went real hard for us here in Detroit, and I want to see that man succeed. So they got a stacked team over there in LA, but yeah, man. Stafford was the guy, and Calvin was the guy too for us. But
Yeah, and he just went to the Hall of Fame, I think, right? He
yeah,
just
he got
recently.
inducted. I feel like he got inducted pretty early too.
Yeah, I was
Honestly,
kind of
like
shocked on that, but he did put in some work. It was kind of a surprise retirement when he left. I was like, wow, that's kind of early. He still had some good, I'm sure fuel in the tank.
right. I
Um,
mean, we've had Barry retire like way too young.
yeah,
Calvin was like, "All right, if y'all ain't gonna trade me, I'm fucking out of here. Like, I'm just gonna hang it up if you're not gonna trade me." And they wouldn't do it. I mean, at the end of the day, I'm not the biggest fan of our ownership, the Ford family.
yeah.
But sorry about me looking down on my phone, man. It's
No, it's
super
all good.
rude. But I'm just trying to share this shit to my story so we can get some.
No, it's all good, man.
But yeah, no, yeah, huge Lions fan, just all around Detroit sports fan. Whether it's Tigers, Red Wings, Pistons, I don't really care how good or bad we are, man. That's the squad.
No, that's what's up, man. That's really cool. That's what I love. I mean, kind of in LA, we don't really have that. I know there's some diehard Rams fans probably watching this. There's some diehard Dodger fans, but it's like LA is just kind of like all over the place because the Rams weren't here for many years, and then the Raiders are kind of back and forth.
Yeah, the Raiders
So
for a minute. Yeah,
yeah.
exactly.
So I mean,
Now,
growing
now you
up,
guys got the Chargers. It's like,
yeah, Chargers were kind of like, I mean, if you're from San Diego, you're diehard. I'll give you that,
oh,
but.
of course.
But
Yeah.
now it's like all those fans are kind of like out. They don't really want to support the Los Angeles, team so much. From a lot of the hardcore fans that I know of. But yeah, I mean, there's really no. I mean, the Lakers are pretty consistent. Dodgers are pretty consistent. Angels are kind of like whatevs. I love the Angels, but yeah, it's just everyone's kind of got like a different team, and that's why I kind of respect like other states out there that kind of represent their city. It's pretty cool to see. As far as the fan base over there, I mean, that you know of, I mean, is it pretty crazy? Like as far as like the bars and like cracking when it's not COVID, when all the games are, and everyone just loving it.
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty much the same as long as your squad is good. I mean, okay, so I think USA, this was like the glory days for me, right? So like USA Today in like 2012 named us named Detroit the number 1 sports team in America because Tigers, Red Wings, Pistons, and Lions were all in the playoffs. We did
Mm,
good, winning records, all that shit. So like, yeah, they're out here and supporting, as long as we're winning games, these stadiums look pretty empty when the teams are
yeah.
shitty, except the Lions, bro. Win, lose or draw, 60 years worth of garbage. Ford
Man.
Field is packed, sold out pretty much every game. It's the most bizarre thing I've ever seen. Like if the Tigers, I think it's different for the Tigers because they have, baseball is like super long season. It's different for the Red Wings because I feel like hockey doesn't exactly resonate with
Mm,
mainstream America sports fans. And the Pistons have a rich history of the Bad Boys and Chauncey Billups and the '04 Pistons, so like they have a solid foundation. But Yeah, man, the Lions are the only team that I literally have ever heard of where that game's gonna be packed every time, and it's gonna be loud, and it's gonna be rowdy. There's gonna be fat dudes with their shirts off and their faces painted, and like it's gonna be crazy. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's a really wild dynamic that they have, but
Yeah.
it's mostly rowdy as long as we're winning games.
Nice. I wanted to talk about too. Now you were, well, being a being a rapper, just period. I mean, it's got to be tough, right? I mean, to tell. I was like thinking about like I think there was an interview that you had done. I was looking at, and you were, I guess, your mother and family kind of weren't believers at first, and then they seen you do a show, and it just kind of was like shoulder to shoulder, and you got like an encore and everything, and she kind of was like, "Wow, like okay, like go for this." Like,
Yeah,
can you talk a little bit about that show and just kind of leading up to that show? Like,
yeah. I
was that a
mean,
big one?
yeah, I was a baseball player for most of my childhood, and like if I probably would have applied myself to baseball like I did with music, maybe I could have maybe like gone and played in college or something, but that's just not what I wanted to do. And so I stopped. I told my mom I don't want to play ball anymore. I'm going to chase music. This is exactly what I want to do. She was like, she never told me like don't you dare do that, but she was just like, come on, man, like you can't, you're like this isn't it, like. And but yeah, just the first couple shows that I got booked for here in downtown Detroit, it really let my mom know. It was like I was like 19, 20 years old in this club, bar, whatever the venue was, illegal as fuck. I shouldn't even have been in there. I'm not even 21. I'm not even 21 yet. I'm on stage
Oh,
like ripping the crowd and people are singing the lyrics and shit. So it's like she was like,
oh.
like she didn't understand the internet generation. Like she thought I would put out a song on SoundCloud and it would just like nothing would ever happen. But she didn't realize like my whole high school would be listening or whatever. So yeah, it wasn't like they were non-supportive, but they just didn't understand it until they saw me like rip a stage and move a crowd and everybody put your motherfucking hands up and like they were like, okay, all right, for sure.
Wow. And so where are they at now? I mean, they got to be loving what they're seeing right now because you're doing,
Oh
the
yeah,
videos and
of
you're
course.
consistent right now, man. You're really putting out a lot of content. So, I mean, where are they at now? Like, oh yeah, that's him. That's what he does.
Yeah, well, no, no, it's a lot of I'm proud of you, and keep going and keep your head up. It's been rough, man, just because like after the show, that was supposed to be the ascension, like that was just the little ticker I needed to get some eyes on me, and then here we go, and then
Mm,
poof, the fucking rug is swept out from underneath me, whole world shut down, thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars worth of show money taken away, all these
man.
different opportunities taken away. So, it's been them reinforcing me like, hey, it'll come back. You'll be good. Just keep grinding, keep putting out content, keep staying in people's faces. Cause like I can't even front, man. Like in the real thick of this whole quarantine process, it was like, fuck this, dude. I don't even want to do this shit no more. Like, like it's like I who knows, but like there was that point where like
Oh, I lost him there. Yeah. So again, we were live with Sam Be Yourself. Up, he's back. Let's see if he.
are
Are you
we in?
back? Yeah, we're here.
Can you hear me? Sorry.
Yeah, you're good.
Let me
Actually
know if I'm
coming in clear. It was kind of fuzzing out. You're good. You're good though.
good to go now.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, you were kind of losing some hope there, huh?
A little bit, yeah, just naturally, like, oh man, like, damn, like, I guess it wasn't meant to be, like, kind of thing,
Wow.
right? Because like you have this opportunity to be on this giant worldwide syndicated show, and like, I mean, I'm
Mm,
talking, bro, like Mexico City shows lined up, like Paris people are reaching out, London people are trying to reach out, booking me for clubs out there, and then all of a sudden everything takes a shit. So it kind of has you thinking for a second, like, damn, man, maybe it's just not meant to be. Like, who knows? This in the back of my mind, I'm thinking like this Corona shit could last 5 years. Like, we don't know, but
yeah.
it looks like they're on. It looks like the scientists are on top of it. It looks like there's a vaccine rolling. Things will be somewhat normal, hopefully. With by next summer, hopefully things will be fully normal. Who knows?
Are you taking the vaccine? Or are you thinking about doing it, or have you done it already?
I'm gonna do it, man. Yeah, I'm gonna do it when I get the opportunity. I mean, you don't see people like walking around with polio anymore. You know what I mean? Like when someone came up to you and was like, "I got the measles, bro," like
Yeah.
the vaccines. But I get the I get it. I get the speculation, and I get why you wouldn't want to, or why you wouldn't want to do that to a young child, right? You wouldn't want to inject your newborn with some flu shots and shit like that. Like I get that. But I think for something as big as this, and for the older adults, I think it's something that we should do. Because I think it's going to get to a point where like you're not doing shit until you get this. Like, oh,
Right.
you want to come see this
Mm.
football game or this baseball game? You're gonna have to have some little card that says you're vaccinated with both shots. Or like, you want to travel internationally, you're gonna have a stamp on your passport that says you got both shots. So it's like I'm gonna get it, and it's not gonna be the most fun process for me, but I trust the scientists. I'm gonna go with it.
Nice. Yeah, so I just kind of want to wrap this up. Again, we'll be doing the interview here. Just kind of wanted to let all the fans know that, I'm sitting down with Sam Be Yourself. And so the interview will probably come out like this coming up Monday. And we'll just be, again, 5 episodes, just kind of detailing your life and what you're up to. So do you want to plug anything at all with the fans that are on here with us?
Yeah, totally. So right now, my latest single, "I'm Leaving," is out on all platforms. "I'm Leaving" by Sam Be Yourself. The video's up on YouTube. We got plenty of freestyles, and we got more singles to come. So stay tuned and go check out the last joint I put out. It's called "I'm Leaving."
Cool. All right. Well, we'll definitely look out for the interview coming out. I'll be definitely promoting it, tagging Sam here, and we'll be seeing you soon.
Awesome, man. Hey, I appreciate it, buddy.